Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a video, and I'll still send out an email, and maybe I'll be able to put the link on the video, but I'm also going to put the video on modules so y'all will be able to reference it a little bit easier. So we've already gone through week one. I do apologize for putting this video out so late. I usually try to do it on Monday, but it's just been a kind of crazy Monday and Tuesday. So we've already gone through week one. So far, the biggest deals, and we haven't talked about, is module two. So we've done the binary conversions. If you're still having trouble with that, email me, and then we'll try to set up some time Saturday to work on it. The presentation, I still haven't hit on that, so don't worry about it for right now. But I'll try to address that next couple of days. This is a link right here for book link if you need it. It's kind of not really a backdoor, but it takes you to the book directly, and all you have to do is put your Collin College email, which is the collin.edu email, and you should be able to get the book for like about 12 hours, 13 hours. Um, Network models, make sure to go through the OCI. I might be talking about that on Saturday. Um, but if you're not going to be able to make it Saturday, make sure you understand the OSI model. And then that's the different levels, I guess, of networking. Remember what I said about the tests? I noticed it's chapter one and chapter two. If you read the PowerPoints and you've done the reading, you should be able to pass the exams. So just make sure you understand. If you keep up with this piece, which is the PowerPoints, you should be able to do this, even if I'm not explaining it. Just the reading and the PowerPoints alone should cover it. So we're going to be moving into week two. Ethernet Basics is one of them. The other is Modern Ethernet, which is chapter 4. And last but not least is TCP/IP. And I think that's it for this week. So, kind of going back, sorry, I'm not trying to go too fast, but get your PowerPoints. I'm going to try to go over a few slides on Saturday, but the big deal is going to come from this IP address book workbook. If you click on it, it gives you an actual address or workbook that you can actually download. So if I look at it, it sorry, I had to take my mouse offline. So, anyways, the book has about 85 pages. Kind of explains how to do subnetting. If you if you look at it, it'll talk about the things we're going to talk about in that first activity, which is like the different address classifications and things like that. Now, I will be going over this more in class. So, and these are kind of the activities that we're going to work with: network addressing, and it all this has a bunch of, it looks like worksheets. But if you get to a certain point, it actually, well, this is the actual worksheet. Sorry, if you actually go to the book, it has something similar to this too that you can work with. Sorry, I'm really bad without the mouse. Um, but if you actually go to the book, which is this right here, and you download it, you can print it out. I mean, you don't have to, but the book itself, let's see if I can get it better. It actually talks about the different classifications. Big deal with the classifications is just make sure you understand that a class A is 1 through 127. And what that means is um, the first octet, which is this piece right here, there's four of them. There's one, two, three, four. First octet, second octet, third octet, and fourth. Um, if it starts with a 1 through 127, it's a class A. Class B is 128 through 191, and that's from the first octet. But if you also notice that the network, you see how it says network here and host here? I'll try to explain that a little more in detail later, but a network, basically, these are the ones that, this is the thing you can use for assigning to your network, like your routers and your switches, and then you have your hosts, which is your computers, your smartphones, things like that. Class B is 128 through 191, and now you have two network, the first octet and the second octet, which you can use with the network, and then you have the third octet and fourth octet, which work with the computers and other devices that need IP addresses. Class C is one we're going to actually work with the most in real life, 192 to 223, and the very first three octets are all dedicated to networking. Now we have one to host. Now this is where in a couple of exercises coming up, we're going to be working with subnetting. So that's where you take an actual network and divide it into smaller networks. The default subnet mask for Class A is 255. Well, you can read this, but what I'm saying is the book actually has a ton of information, so you can kind of go through it, skim through it, kind of just look at it, see how things work. There's a section on binary to decimal conversion if you need more practice. It's a great book to have. I had a student that printed it out, and I mean, you're welcome to print it out, but you know, it's 75 pages or 85 pages. So we'll talk about that a little more later. But for right now, I want you to make sure that you can understand where the book is because you're going to need it for later. And then we're dealing with, let's see where we're at. So week 2. So that's the book I was just talking about. You can watch the video. It's a little confusing. It's easier for me to explain in well in person. So then you got chapter 4. Um, this cables and connectors challenge. Go ahead and try it. I mean, if worse comes to worse and not enough people get scores high enough, then we'll just drop it. But for right now, go ahead and try it. See if you can get it. You need to know the different cables, anyways. And last but not least, for the week, we're going to be working with activity 8, 9, and 10. And if those are done before Saturday, if you get everything done, and I'm talking about everything I've just talked about, all the way to your chapter 6 test. You don't the tests, remember, you can do those at home. But what I'm saying is if you have completed module 4 and module 5 and module 6 before Saturday, you don't need to be in the classroom. But if you need help, and we need to, and Saturdays when I'm going to go over those modules, just go ahead and come in as usual, and we'll work on stuff the moment you get there. Other than that, there shouldn't be any questions. But if you have any questions, feel free to email me.